Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us for tonight's live, where we will be talking all about optimizing our prices. We have a very special guest today, the lovely Leslie Hicks. You saw her gorgeous photo, and she's just as gorgeous today.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
We met Leslie, it was sometime in the fall, I think, is when we went over to one of her pop-ups.
September of last year.
September of last year, yeah. It was so you'll learn all about Leslie, but one of the things that we loved about her is she's just a generous person with her time, with her energy, with connecting people. And so she had a pop-up for other event vendors to come and showcase all of their stuff, and invited the community to come and see. And so we had to be there. It was a really fun time. We met a lot of great people. But Leslie herself is just such a warm soul. And so we've been in touch ever since. Of course, Instagram brings us all together. But one of the things we especially noticed about Leslie is that she's very open with her life, with her business, with things that are going well, things that are challenging. But most importantly, or important to this topic, is even around pricing and offers. And so we thought she would be a great person to bring into this conversation, because that's a really tricky topic. As we started to include in our information with the email and worksheet, it's something really tricky. So I've been blabbing a lot, but Leslie, can we hear from you? Can you just tell us how you got started with your business and just a little bit about you?
So my name is Leslie Hicks, and I'm with Majestic Party Rental. We're based out of Inglewood, California. I started my business back in February of 2015. And believe it or not, I did accounting for some hotels and some travel agencies prior to me opening my own business. But eventually I got tired of actually working for other people, and just one day I said, you know what, I'm tired. I don't want to work under anyone anymore, and decided to talk to my husband one day after I had a very bad day at work. Got home and I said, you know what, I have an idea. And so I explained my idea. He shut me down real quick. He said, nope, I don't agree. Don't do it. And I said, I want to try it. I'm one of those that I'm a firm believer of never doubt yourself and always motivate yourself, because your biggest motivator is always going to be yourself. And it took me a couple days for me to actually convince him, and we took everything out of our 401k and we invested that into our business. Wow. And again, that was back in 2015. The first year was not a good year. 6 months into the business, there was still no money whatsoever. And my husband said, close it. It's not working. Your idea didn't work. I said, I have one more idea, let me try one more thing. And I found the location that we're currently at, and to me, it was the location. We were very hidden, and once we got this location that we currently are at, it worked. And social media has just boomed for us, and thankfully we have our very big followers, and we appreciate every follower that we have. We love the comments, the messages, the questions. I love it all. But that's pretty much how we started our business.
Wow, such bravery. I love it.
So right now we, as you know, we're having you on as a part of our 7-day challenge for optimizing your business. So many of our friends and our colleagues in the event industry right now is just really feeling the impact of the coronavirus. And we wanted to go through that with them to get together, but also let them know that there is light at the end of the tunnel. We can get through this together. We've all been through challenging times before. And so we were hoping that you would kind of tell us a little bit about a challenging time you may have gone through. And just a little bit about who you are and how you get through challenging times.
So I think everyone has had challenging times, whether it was at a younger age or you could be going through a challenging time currently. For example, I have my 15-year-old and my mother going through chemotherapy all at the same time on top of the coronavirus. Have I had challenging times in the past? Yes. I am actually a teen mom. I had my first child at 17, got pregnant at 16. So I think me becoming a mom at such a young age has always taught me how to just rely on myself. And notice I will say, always rely on yourself. You will always have people motivate you, but your biggest motivator is always going to be yourself. Don't sit down and wait for things to be handed to you. You have to go out and strive and actually push yourself, and don't stop. No matter what gets in your way, what challenges gets in your way, just keep pushing. Keep pushing. In other words, keep swimming. Whether it's water, whether it's land, you keep it going. Don't stop, guys. Sky's the limit. No matter what gets thrown at you, find the light in every bad situation.
Yeah, that's a really good point. And there is going to be light at the end of this particular tunnel. And this is really an opportunity for a lot of businesses to take advantage of this time. I mean, it is kind of a gift of time that we have to just take stock of everything that we have going on. And we're talking about pricing today. And so not only just looking at your pricing, but looking overall at your business over these past, over the 7-day challenge, and really understand what it is that you have, how are you pricing it, and then how are you going to be ready to provide that to your customers and your clients at the end of all this that we're going through. So our next question to you is, what is one of your, like, your number one seller or your biggest seller, and how did it come to be?
So currently, I would say the biggest seller for us is our balloons. But I did want to kind of break down what is price optimizing. Not everyone understand what price optimizing is. So I kind of prepared something for everyone just to give you guys an idea of how to break it down. And then we can go there by adding products and all that good stuff. So price optimizing is, you can use it from customer surveys, you can do it from your demographic and psychographic data. You can use it. So I use Square, so it actually tracks everything that I am actually selling and moving and all that good stuff. Keeping track of your inventory. What are your top sellers, like you just asked? What doesn't sell? So for us, our biggest sellers would be our balloons, our backdrops, our draping, and my least sellers would be my tents, my tables, my chairs. Why do I carry those? I carry those because I want to be the one-stop shop. I don't want my customers to go from door to door asking, oh, well, I want to rent this from this location, and I'm going to have to rent it from this. Most likely a customer is going to look for a whole package deal. And that's where you want to create your price optimization. But for example, with our balloons, you always want to have your starting prices. What is your base price? So for example, if someone is to message you on Instagram and Facebook, a lot of people don't want to waste their time. They don't want to, for example, me, I'm by appointment only. But instead of making you drive all the way to me, I am going to, send you a message saying, can you kind of give me an idea of what you're looking for? I will give you a starting price and a base price. I will go into details. But then at that point, the customer knows, okay, for example, I'll use a balloon garland. My base price for a balloon price, my starting for a balloon garland is $200. Now, if you want to add any specialty balloons or anything like that, the price will go up. Your starting prices, they should be optimized to match your baseline demand for your products before any discounts or promotions are applied. Optimizing the starting price works well for companies with products and services that remain fairly stable over time, like, office supplies, balloons. And the reason why I'm saying office supplies, because that's a cost as well. If I show you what I have to go through in order for me to create invoices and, and then you have to look at your balloon cost, your curtain cost, your backdrop cost. It gets pretty pricey. So you have to put all that into when you're looking into optimizing your prices. When you want to also discount prices. If you're in sales, you need to know what works best. For example, me, I will not have anyone come sit here and do the sales. I still do my own sales. The reason why is because I know what moves, opposed to someone else. They don't know what's the top seller. They don't, you have to be very familiar with what your products are and what you're moving. For me, myself, when I'm offering a discount for something, it's because it's something that's not moving for me. So I'm able to discount the tents. I'm able to discount the chairs. I'm able to discount linen. But with my top sellers, draping, balloons, I'm not going to provide a discount because I know people will pay for it. And that's where you have to pick and choose what you want to discount. And where, again, we go back to the starting prices. You want to start your prices, and depending if a customer wants to add chandeliers, you're gonna end up charging more. So you want to look at what you're putting into it. You can't just throw in a chandelier. You got to charge that as well. So you got to look into all of that.
We do have a question from Facebook for you, and it's a question and a comment, but they say sometimes pricing is hard because they feel like they're either overcharging or undercharging. Is there any advice you can give them for that?
I always say, and look, I laugh because anyone that you talk to around me will tell you, they use the word in Spanish, carrera. I'm expensive. I'm not cheap. But you have to value your work, your time, your cost. If you're giving your work away, when are you ever going to see profit? So for example, if you went and spent $120 in order for you to do a balloon garland and you priced it at $150, you spent an hour and a half to build the balloon garland. You drove about 15-20 minutes. It took you another 15-20 minutes to install it. What did you make? What did you make? You didn't make anything. Another thing that we like to do, us as friendors, notice I use friendors. You always want to have friendors, guys. Don't see the person that does the same thing as you as competition, because one day you will need help from that person and that person is able to help you. For example, if you ever have a question and you do something that I do, don't be afraid to message me. Say, hey, Les, I'm in this business. I'm starting. I don't know where to price it. If you ever attend any of my classes, I break down all the pricing of everything that we're doing in the class. I tell you what I charge. I tell you where you could purchase it, how to purchase it, and all that good stuff. So we give you all the tips and tricks there. But pricing, ask, guys. Closed mouths don't get fed. Don't be afraid to ask. Asking is always a big key in this world and this industry. Compare your prices to another vendor.
Yeah. I think that's so important. And it is scary, right? Whenever anyone's going into the pricing conversation, you take that deep breath or whatever it is, and you hope that it's received well on the other side. But you have to, from our perspective, everyone, it's not personal, right? People have a couple of things. One, they have a process for buying that goes beyond just what they're buying for this party. If they are going to bargain shop, they're going to do that in every aspect of their life. And it's just the process. So we can't take that personally. That's just part of the experience. So,
exactly.
If they're hiring a contractor, if they're going to the grocery store, it's, so it's part of it. And the other part is, to your point about like your value and your worth, you do put in so much into it. And so part of our exercise when we gave a little worksheet was thinking about, yes, all the things that are the set costs, but then how many years of experience do you have? Have you been doing this for a while? If you haven't been doing it for a while, then that is something to consider. And, sometimes the results shows in that sense too, and that's fine. But if you've been doing this for a long time and you have the know-how to be able to make it look amazing and, this amount of time.
Keyword, if you have the know-how. I've met people who have been in business for 20, 30 years, and you can't compare the work sometimes.
Yeah.
There's people that are very fast learners that take a class, 2 classes, and their balloon garlands can look better than mine.
Yeah.
So it all depends on the product. I always say,
That's true.
Compare your work. If you can compare from someone who's been doing it for 20 years and you can compare and you really can't tell the difference, you should be pricing just the same way.
Yeah, that's a great point. And, on that point too, the visual is king, right? So the pictures that you take and where you place it is so important, because if you are a rock star balloon stylist, but your photos aren't great, then that's just not going to come through. Or if you have that many years of experience,
it's not showcasing you.
Why can't I? Yeah, but this person's just barely doing it and they're not as good, but your photos aren't great, then you're at a disadvantage. So it's so many things that tie into that.
Exactly. And as far as pricing as well, you always want to maximize the value for your customers that are going to profit you. You always want to make a profit, guys. Even if you're starting, you don't eventually want to end up turning yourself away from something because you're like, well, I keep doing this and I'm not making any money.
Yeah.
You're gonna lose that passion that you went in with, and you don't want to lose that. Because if you continue that passion and you learn how to price it, it's a big gain. It's a definite big gain, guys. So don't let that stop you. Ask questions, guys. There's lots of vendors, and always don't just say, how much does this cost?
Yeah.
Say, hi, my name is so-and-so. I'm starting my business, and I was wondering if you would be able to provide me with, a kind of a list of your pricing. For example, if you go on my Instagram, Majestic Party Rental, I have a price list already on there, so you can actually go on there and get an idea of my pricing. If you can compare your work to ours, then you want to price the same, whether you've been in it for 20 years, 5 years, 2 years, 1 year. If you are a fast learner and you got it down, then keep it. Because imagine if you're already doing it that way at 1 year, imagine where you're going to be at 5 years.
So true. We have another question from you from Facebook. It says, what advice do you have for a service-based business where the value is subjective?
That one's a difficult one.
Because I look at, it is a lot of the factors that go into it are the same. You have a service, you have hours that it takes you to perform that service. So I know a lot of, if you're like a DJ or a magician, sometimes you are charging by the hour. So I don't know how an hourly setup or breakdown factors into your business as well, because part of it is product and also part of it is service, right?
Exactly. So I even have service fees. So I charge on top of the work, I charge service fees. So for example, if I'm going to go in doing a backdrop, and this is just my starting price, just to give you guys an idea. This is where I say you have to value your work, and you also have to take your employees into consideration, especially when they're working after hours. In our industry, there's a lot of times where we have to pick up at 11, 12, 1 o'clock in the morning. Sometimes us as owners, do we really want to get up at that time and go? No. Sadly, we send our employees. So at that point, I like to pay them a little extra. Where does that extra come from? I'm going to charge an after-hour fee to our customers. My after-hour fee, anything after 7 p.m., I do charge a $250 same-day pickup fee. And that all goes to my employees. It's not going to come out of my pocket. I make sure to cover my employees. So again, this is where you make that little extra money to take care of yourself, and cover your employees. If I'm going to have to set up tables, chairs on top of already, for example, when I go in and I do draping, my price already includes the setup for the tent, the draping, and say I'm adding any chandeliers, it already includes the setup. But when you're just renting tables and chairs, you're just renting. That doesn't include me setting it up. You want me to set it up, I'm going to charge you a setup fee. And I usually charge about $1, depending on how many depending on how many guests, I charge anywhere between $1 to $2 per person. Again, your time is valuable. At that point, now you're going to have to sit there for an hour, 2 hours setting up this person's event. And you have to take your time to make it look to where the customer's going to be satisfied. Do you want to give that away as well? Are you going to give those 2 hours away? Are you going to give then, and if you have employees, now you have employees with you for those 2 hours, that's going to be a cost for you out of pocket. So this is where you have to think, when you're making the sale, you have to think of everything that you're putting into. So when you're making your invoice, if I'm going to do, and make sure you note it, does not include setup.
Yeah.
Because customers will automatically say, oh, well, I rented it from you. Exactly. You rented it. That does not say setup. Right. So in my contract, whatever is going to include a setup, it states setup included. If it does not say setup included, it does not include a setup. That is additional. I've learned that you have to be very specific in your contracts. Very, very specific. That way you don't have a dispute with your customer. And a lot of times if they are to say something, you just grab your contract, you turn it around, you say, see, here it states setup included, which I did. But if you'd like, no problem. I can set it up for you right now, but it's going to cost you. You just have to, learn how to be firm with your own rules for your business. What are your policies? Stay firm.
And I know a lot of times some clients, and I'm sure you go through this all the time, want to negotiate every little thing. What advice do you have for those customers or clients that want to negotiate everything?
I am very firm. I don't do discounts unless I'm offering one online. I never, ever give discounts. And, I always say, I value my work, and I will tell the customer just like that, I'm sorry, I'm not giving any discounts. If I were here to give discounts, I wouldn't be in business. How are you going to have a business if you're giving every customer a discount? What are you making? You're giving your profit away. You have to think, I gotta buy, I have 5 kids. I gotta buy shoes for so-and-so. I gotta buy a backpack. And if I'm giving discounts away, I'm saying goodbye to these shoes. I'm saying goodbye to this backpack. Now I can't pay my light bill. You have to take everything into consideration when it comes to your pricing. If I have to go up the stairs in a building, I'm charging you to go up the stairs. Can you imagine when there's no elevator and we have to bring 300 chairs through stairs? And I'm not going to charge for that? Oh, no. We're charging to go up the stairs.
We all need like a
you
little.
You have to take all that into consideration.
Shoulder for all the negotiations to say, to give us that, make sure that we get that confidence. Because I think you're absolutely right. I think that one of the inspiring things about you, for some reason, I remember this when we first met you, we were like, I took my husband, obviously he was a doubter, yes, like you said, right? And then what is your saying about your husband, that you took him out of work, right? Like he's now,
yes,
fully.
Well, right now, because of everything that's going on since our business is slow, he did get a job. Yes. He is out there working. But on a regular basis, I need him to be my backbone. I need him to be mom at home. I need him to make sure that my kids are fed. I need him to make sure that my kids are getting dropped off from school, getting picked up. And I'm one of those that I will not leave my kids with the babysitter. The way the world is nowadays, you have to be super careful. And who else than either myself or him? And he does help me with the business. So I took him out of work now about 3 years ago. And I'm here 7 days a week, and he'll come and help me Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. But the rest of the days, he's stuck with the kids, which if you're a stay-at-home mom, it's probably harder for him than it is for me. We're
all experiencing that now. That's great. But I mean, just, yeah, your confidence and your belief in yourself, like you're saying, and just knowing you're providing a tremendous value and you know your worth, is really
But that doesn't
inspiring.
mean I don't question myself. I think we all
That's true.
question ourselves.
Yeah.
But again, I always say, even if you are like scared of the door falling, you get up and you hold that door open. You hold it. And you will sit there as long as you can and hold that door. Don't give up, guys. And always have faith in yourself, because I'm going to say, I'm going to hold that door, and I'm going to hold that door.
Yeah, absolutely.
I know when I know you've probably thought about this, but so many companies are impacted by the coronavirus. But as soon as everything clears, like, people are going to be beating down your door and blowing up your phone because everybody's going to be ready to party.
I hope so. I hope so. I've been telling everyone, I think we're going to have a party here. For all our friendors, I think we should all get together. We'll have some drinks in here. I think after everything that's gone down, and the fear that we've all gone through, and the stress, financial stress, I think we're all going to need that break.
Yeah, for sure. And you've
Yeah,
done some different things too, right? Given the times, like we've seen a lot more of your Instagram lives and videos and tutorials and things like that. So what are, just really quickly, some things that you're trying that are different now that you're experimenting with?
So for me, I am a true believer of social media. So the only thing when it comes to advertising that I pay for is, instead of me doing business cards, I still do business cards, but the only thing I pay for is, for example, I rather buy a pen, because you're going to keep the pen opposed to a business card. Business cards end up on the floor, or it'll end up in the trash. A pen, either you're going to keep it in your purse if you're a woman, or you're going to end up leaving it somewhere and someone will find that pen. And business cards. But for me, social media, I see it as free advertising. Free advertising. Yeah. What better way to get your business out there, especially when it's free? And right now, everyone's at home on their phone. Think about it. What is the best thing to do while you're sitting at home right now? Guess what? I'm coming every day to find something to do, and I'm recording myself doing it. And if you go on my Instagram, look at how many people are watching this, because they're at home on their phone. Don't let them forget about your business. Let them know who you are, because best believe we will surpass this. And when we do, what businesses are they going to remember? The ones that are not active, or the ones that are active?
Right. Absolutely.
So stay active, guys. Stay active. Even if it's you at home with your kids cooking something, record it. For a long time, people didn't see my face. A lot of people didn't know who I was.
Yeah.
So me doing these tutorials is outside of the box for me. I am not comfortable at all doing them. But, I'm doing whatever it takes to keep my business afloat and keeping myself out there. And I think everyone should do something to keep your business out there, whether it's you posting a question, stay more active as far as let them get to know you a little bit better, and just, talk to your customers. I think having a relationship with your customers helps. Think of all these reality TV shows. How did they become famous? Because they put their business out there.
Yeah.
Why are all these YouTubers famous? Because they put their business out there. So what better way than to keep your Instagram busy? Let people remember you. I recently read that a lot of people tend to remember what you say. They tend to remember what they see opposed to what they say.
Right.
So if I'm creating videos, you're going to remember that video opposed to you just hearing my voice. So create something small and stay active, guys. That's my only advice I have for small businesses right now when it comes to all of this. And, stay positive, smile through it all. Life could be worse. You're alive. You have a roof over your head. Think of all those people that don't have food right now. Think of all those people that, did lose their job, that were already struggling, and now this is on their plate. So stop complaining. Get up every morning. Do your hair. Do your makeup. If you're a guy, shave. Get up. Get out of the sweats. Put some pants on if you're in your boxers all day. Find something to do. Stay active. Otherwise, depression's gonna kick in. You're not gonna have any motivation. And I think when it hits you and you don't do something about it, it just gets worse.
Absolutely.
Okay, I know we promised 30 minutes of your time, but there's another question on Facebook. Do you partner with other vendors to complete your packages, or did you invest in all your items?
I pretty much have everything myself. I do have an actual showroom, and I do have a warehouse behind our showroom. We have lots of options. The only thing I don't have is I don't have porta potties and I don't have dance floors. So I do outsource to that. I can do flowers, but I choose not to. So I outsource my flower orders as well. But everything else, we're able to help you here.
Very cool.
So it's a lot of investing. So if it's something that you want to do and you want to be that one-stop shop, it's a lot of investing. Put it this way, you're not going to see any earnings for the good first 5 years when you're investing so much to make sure that you have everything.
Wow. And that's why we appreciate your candid input and your honesty and your inspiration and all of everything in between. That's why, we're putting this program together as well. We really wanted to help folks use this time to our advantage, to learn from each other, to ask those tough questions and put ourselves out there, or encourage everybody to do that as well. So thank you so much. We really, really appreciate all of your time.
No, thank you. And you just made a good point. While you're at home, learn, guys. Go on YouTube, go figure something out. Right now so many people are offering free classes online, tutorials. Educate yourself while you're at home, guys. You have no excuse. Come back stronger than ever.
She's going to hold you accountable. So everybody, you're a great accountability coach.
If you are watching my tutorials and you created something, tag me. I will share it on my page.
She will.
I will share it. So if you did something that you saw and you want, say you're a cake, you're do baking, cookies, cakes, whatever, you want to share something, tag me. I will reshare for you. I don't mind sharing, guys. So if you follow me, tag me. I love sharing everyone. I love helping businesses put themselves out there.
Absolutely. And she's super generous with your time,
super.
Everything. Is there anything else you want to share or promote as a last message?
No.
Okay. Well, definitely go check her out on Instagram, Majestic Party Rentals. A bunch of wonderful tutorials now. See her lovely face and then all of her great work from before. And we will absolutely look forward to the day when we can dance in your warehouse and your showroom.
Together. Thank you, ladies, for having me. I appreciate it. Thank you, everyone, for watching. And make sure you follow us, Majestic Party Rental on Instagram.
Absolutely. Thank you so much.
Thank you, ladies.
Take care.
Have a good one.
You
Bye-bye.
too. Bye.
Bye.